Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour, The Factor Uncensored. There's a conversation happening right now when it comes to raising children, finances, and responsibility. One woman went viral for a post on Facebook, you're looking at it there, suggesting her 19-year-old son pitch in for her $1,550 a month rent. She says she told her daughter she should be putting in $100 a month. That 19-year-old isn't on board with that. According to that mother, her daughter says this is nothing more than a ploy to pocket her money. The post has sparked debate online, along with another video in which another mother says her 13-year-old son would not give up his birthday money to help keep the lights on. Wow.
All the stuff I do for you as a mother. Literally, I take care of you, I feed you, I cook, I do all that stuff. And all I did, I asked you for your birthday money so that I can pay the light bill. You don't want to give me the birthday money. So I am taking the PS5 back so I can get the money so the bill can be paid.
Well, how you going to ask for my birthday money that I got on my birthday to pay the light bill? And why you trying to take my PS5 away?
Well, you can't play the PS5 anyway if there ain't gonna be no damn lights in our house.
Ooh. It's unclear if this is a skit, but this kind of situation is a reality in many households across America. We're asking where our guests stand on the matter. Joining us to talk about it, parents Eva Go, Dave Lawson, and Angela Vidal. Glad to have you on The Factor Uncensored. Angela, what would you do? You taking that money for the light bill or what? You putting him out? You putting him out?
Okay, I think in that situation it was a bit much because that child's 13 and it was his birthday money. So I don't know. I mean,
that's free money though for bills.
I don't know. I think in that situation maybe the mom should find something in her closet to sell. Now, don't get me started on the 19-year-old ordering crabs and that mom is working 2 jobs.
Right.
That's a different story. You know, that's a different situation. I feel like the 19-year-old, her mom's working several jobs. You know, her mom's paying for her wigs. Do you know how expensive it is to do, like, hair? You know, like, I have mixed children, so I know. But yeah, you know, I think there was a big age difference there, and you know, to me, I don't know, the 13-year-old, I wouldn't. That's probably pushing it.
All right, Dave, let's hear from you as a father. What would you do?
Well, I'm similar. The 13-year-old, what you do is you tell them this is just a temporary loan. I'm gonna give it back to you.
With interest?
No, listen, the bottom line is, I think honestly, it's the difference in generational things too. When I grew up, I'm born in '65, I was raised in the '70s. If we saw that the household needed money, we just naturally, Mom, I pitch in, I got $40, and it's completely different now because I have teenagers at the house now, and yeah, they won't even hand you the remote. They won't do anything, nothing, no matter how bad you're struggling. But it's still up to the parents not to put themselves in that position that they got to ask their child for some money. Now, the 19-year-old, no, she got to pay. She got to do something. Because if you're 19 and you're not in college and you're out of high school, what are we doing here?
Right.
What are we doing here? And you don't want to give $100? So I'm completely, hey, it's an age thing. That kid, come on, he's 13 years old. You got to find another way.
All right, Eva, your thoughts on this?
So I'm all in. I think the family all needs to pitch in. And I have traveled the world and worked with families, and I've seen young children, I mean 5, 6, and up, pitching in for their families out of necessity. So I think that every situation, it really depends. In this case, I think if they needed money to run the household and take care of the family, to me, it doesn't matter what age it is. And when I started probably when I was 9 years old, helping with my family we had a business. So I was bagging groceries, wrapping meat, scraping gum off the floor. It was all about being in it together. There wasn't mine or yours, it was ours. So whatever it takes to take care of the family is what we did.
And have we seen a change in American youth where they're not willing to give up? Like, you know, Dave said, he was born in the 60s, lived in the 70s, 80s, and kids were willing to give up what they had to help with the family. Are we seeing a change here in America?
Yeah.
Or have we seen a change?
I think it's the parenting. It's actually our fault. I agree with Eva to a certain extent because we have raised our kids differently. It was a no-brainer in the 70s. to give it up. And now, like we say, now they don't get it. They just don't get it. And I think that's our fault for not showing them how to get it. Up until, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
So, yeah, it's a tough call. I get Eva completely, because we did help out growing up, but I've seen a big change from when I was raised in the 70s to my teenagers of 2025.
All right, Angela, your thoughts on this? Are we seeing a different type of young person in America these days? Like Eva said, she can travel the world now and families are pitching in. But here in America...
And, you know, I actually disagree. I think that, like, it doesn't matter even if you teach them something in them. I don't know if what they're seeing on their phone or if it's school and they're picking it up from other people. But, I mean, sometimes kids don't even want to share a chip. And I'm just like, you know, I'm just such a giving person. And they see me just giving all the time. And I'm like, can I have a bite? No. And that's not what I teach. And so I don't really know what's going on with this generation. It might be something in the water. That fluoride, I don't know.
Do you think it could be social media playing a role where they see their friends and classmates with so many things, they want to have that, even though that may not be the reality at what they're looking at?
Yeah, I think that, you know, we're just living now in a time where people are just a little bit more self-centered, and I think sometimes being self-centered now is okay, and that's how they look at it, when really it's not. In our times, it was more of like, you know, I remember being 19 years old and telling my mom, when the lease is up, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get my own place, and I already had my own car. And to me, I just remember this overwhelming feeling of joy that my mom was now gonna be able to get a 2-bedroom, because we lived in a 3-bedroom, and she was gonna be able to save some money, you know? And I just, you know, I don't know, kids are just different now.
But again, like I said, is that our fault though? Is that the parents of today's fault, as opposed to how we was raised in the 70s, how we was raised back then, 60s, whenever? I do think it's our fault. When I look back at it, I go, damn, I think I messed up here.
I think media does play a lot of roles, and just everything that we're surrounded by. There's so much stuff that we want, and there's so much competition. But I think in the family, if we would just re-emphasize and go back to the importance of the family, and there's stuff out there we want, but the family comes first. There's so many life lessons in celebrating together, suffering together, and rising up out of something together.